Hello again, welcome back to barbecuing. Today on the menu we are doing rotisserie chicken. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna do it with an Alabama white sauce on it, one of the lesser known barbecue sauces, but amazing nonetheless. We're gonna get started with that, let the flavors kind of meld together a little bit. So let's do this. For the Alabama white sauce, we have mayo, 1 cup. We have a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. We're gonna have the juice of 1 lime. We got a tablespoon of mustard. I'm going with the big stone, seedy, old style mustard. I think it's gonna add a nice flavor to this. We got about a 1/4 cup of brown, or a quarter, got a tablespoon of brown sugar. We got a tablespoon of Worcestershire, a tablespoon of your favorite hot sauce. We've got a 1/4 tablespoon of ground onion powder, garlic powder, and cayenne powder, and then salt and pepper to taste. Super simple. We're just going to throw this in the bowl here. And you're basically just going to incorporate everything together. You don't have to cook it or do anything like that. So super simple, like I said. Let's see here. All right, we got mustard. Brown sugar again. Worcestershire's in, the hot sauce. And all this combines to make just an absolute amazing flavor that's gonna go as the barbecue sauce for this. And then the salt and pepper. And then literally all I said, you gotta do is just whisk this together and combine everything. And then once that's done, we're just gonna throw this in the fridge and let it sit. And that's all there is to it. All right, that's what we got. On to the chicken. All right, so it's time for the chicken. We've brined it overnight. It's just a simple brine. I just did some regular salt with some fennel seed and celery seed. That was about it. So we're gonna take these out. We're gonna get them patted dry, and then we'll season them, throw them on the rotisserie, and then get these things on the grill. So give me a second here. All right. So we got them patted dry. The reason for that is if you throw them in while they're soaking wet onto the rotisserie, the skins won't crisp up. So we want that nice crispy skin. So pat it dry. We're gonna preheat the barbecue, which is also gonna help with that. Time for the seasoning. We're gonna do on this today, Tony Chacheres Creole seasoning. This stuff is amazing. I think it's gonna go well with the Alabama white sauce that we just made. So we're just gonna spread this liberally all over everything here. And then just for a little bit of extraness, we're gonna add a little bit of paprika. So just a tiny bit of that, just to add maybe a little bit of color and a little bit of flavor to this as well. All right, now that we got the seasoning on there, we're gonna separate the skin here off of the breast a little bit. Just kind of work your fingers in and separate the skin. And we're gonna run a little bit of olive oil and then some more of the Creole seasoning up under the skin here to help. If you just add all the seasoning to the skin, you're not gonna get, the flavor transferring, all the flavor that you could transfer into the actual breast meat here. Let me rinse my hands here for a second. Okay, so the way we're gonna do this here is we're gonna add some avocado oil into a little jar here, or a little bowl. And then we're just gonna add the seasoning in with it. Kind of create like an infused oil type of thing. Just kind of mix that up. And then this we're just going to pour up under the skin that we just released. Add a little more oil. And then just work that in with your hands. Get it all nice and coated. And that's just going to add an extra depth of, flavor to this. Kind of use some of the extra oil to kind of coat the outside of the skin here. All right, I think these are ready. So next step, we need to truss these up, which is basically we're just going to take some butcher's twine here. We're going to wrap it around the breast. and then just tie that up. What this is going to do is kind of create the breast just to kind of plump up there. So we'll tie this off. All right, now that that's done, we'll take the legs. We're just going to come up underneath the legs here like this and tie these together. You're gonna have to forgive my tying skills, my knot skills. I was not a Boy Scout. But there you have it. So now it's time for the spit. We've got these trussed, ready to go. We've got the first fork set up. I kind of measured it, pre-measured it on where I wanted it centered on the grill. So, you know, that's exactly where I wanted it. And then we're just gonna feed this through here and get it tight onto the spikes here. And we're just going to take our second one and come back down on the other side with it. All right, and there you have your first one. We'll get the second one on the same way, just back this up to it. Make sure that's tight. Second chicken on. And you kind of want to make sure that these are pressed down nice and tight on these. You want the meat to stay contained. Looks like I need to retuck my wings here. Just throw those back in behind. The wings are really not cooperating with me today. So wings might end up a little crispy here. I don't know if they're gonna hold in there. We're ready to go. I got the grill preheated. We'll get down there and throw this thing on. All right, so here we go, it's time. We got our chicken ready here. We got the indirect heat set up going here. We got the burners on the outsides going, as well as the infrared on the back. We got them all pretty much on, I got the infrared on high. The outside ones are kind of on like medium high. You want to have a nice temperature to it so it gets that nice browning going on. So let's get this thing on. Hit the rotisserie. About an hour, hour and a half, this thing should be good. We're gonna pull it at about 180 in the thigh. And I'm gonna tell you, I can't wait for this. So we'll see you guys in a few. So here we are. It's been about an hour, 20 minutes. We just hit 185 in the thigh there. We hit about 170, a little higher in the breast. We had a little bit of a technical issue during the cook here. One of the things you want to do with this, you don't want to be opening the grill a lot. You want to keep the heat in there and make sure everything, you know, stays nice and hot. So I didn't check it for about 45 minutes. What happened was one of the prongs on the rotisserie slipped off and stopped spinning. So a couple of them got a little toasty on the one side. Shouldn't have any effect on the meat, just a little bit of char on the skin, but you know, stuff happens. So we'll get this taken off, we'll get these burners turned off. Rotisserie here. As you can see, one side looks amazing. Got a little toasty on the wings there. But overall, this is gonna be fantastic. The smell coming off of this is just incredible. So we'll get this pulled off the spit. We're gonna let it rest for about 15 minutes or so, get all the juices reabsorbed, and we'll see you guys there when we carve it. While we're waiting for the chicken to rest in there, time for the beer of the day, my favorite part. We're going with Stone IPA. As it says on the can, the iconic West Coast IPA. It's just hops straight in your face. It's one of the big beers around San Diego. Everybody, you know, drinks it. It's on Costco's big list there. You get the big 24 pack. Can't go wrong with it. So today, cheers to Stone. See you guys in a minute. All right, here we are. Final product. This thing looks absolutely amazing here, right? So we're just gonna carve this thing up. I did 2 of them. These things are great, just left over for the next day. Tomorrow I'm making some enchiladas, so I'm gonna be throwing that in there. That's why I wanted to have 2. They're great for everything. You can make them in sandwiches or, you know, pastas or do whatever. So it's always nice to have a little extra chicken on hand for leftovers. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna get in here and take out these wings. All right, flip this over, we'll get these breasts out of here. So to get the breast off, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna cut in through this breastplate here. You can kind of just ride it along the bones. It's still a little hot. And there you have the whole breast, and then we can just slice that up for servings later. So we'll do the same thing on both sides here. Just kind of, like I said, you can kind of feel the knife work along the rib cage there, the bones. All right, there's 2. All right, we're going to take the legs off here. Do the same thing. You're just kind of working in. You can kind of feel with the knife where the knuckles are and the bones there. Get a nice little drumstick there, looking tasty, right? And then let's see here. Oh, we need the thighs, right? So we'll do the same thing. Just kind of work in back here. And then one of the things that you can do is take this. One of the things I love doing is you just take the leftover carcass here with all the extra little. You finish trimming off all the little pieces of meat that are on there, but use it as stock for stew. Use it as stock for soup. Just throw it in a pot with some water, get some nice chicken stock going, throw some veggies in. Perfect. Get that nice roasted flavor on there. So yeah, here we go. All right, so I think this bird is done. We've got the breast here, we've got thighs, we got the 2 little drumsticks, the wings. Can't wait to dig into this thing. Everything is all finely cut, trimmed, good to go. Got the breast here, got a drumstick. Now, time for that Alabama white sauce I was talking about. So we're gonna throw this on. We're just gonna do a nice little drizzle over the drumstick here. We'll do the same thing over the breast. Let me tell you, when I was cutting this thing up, the juices were just like, it was so juicy and tender. So I'm super excited about this. All right, let's give this thing a try. I'm gonna go with the drumstick. You get the Cajun seasoning coming through with the Alabama white sauce that's on there. Match made in heaven. So we'll see you guys next time. Don't forget, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up. Appreciate any comments. See you guys again.